guys, so today's video I'll be showing you how to do a hearty black bean quesadilla. Usually on Sundays I prep my lunch for the whole week, and I was about to prep and I thought I might as well just go ahead and film it just because, you know, this black bean quesadilla is so good. It's actually one of my favorites and I just wanted to share this recipe with you. And not only that, it's pretty healthy and it's low cost. I bought everything, all the ingredients for under $10, and it makes about 8 quesadillas, mini quesadillas. And I usually buy everything on sale. I don't go for name brands, I just buy whatever's on sale. So I'm gonna go ahead right now and show you all the ingredients. A small onion, chopped. You can use red or I use the sweet onion. Roughly chop cilantro, half a bunch. You can add more or less, it's really up to you. Frozen corn. It is 1 cup of frozen corn. A can of black beans, 15 ounce, drained. Taco seasoning. I usually don't use the whole pack. I usually use maybe about a half to 3/4 of the packet. I just don't like too much sodium in my stuff, but it's up to you. You can use the whole packet. And garlic, minced garlic. The garlic, if you use whole garlic, it's 1 clove of garlic minced, or you can use the pre-minced garlic, and I use about a teaspoon of that. And 2 cups of shredded cheese. I use the cheddar jack. You can use whatever cheese you want. I like the cheddar jack, the combination of it. It's 2 cups of that. And if you can get the low fat, get the low fat. I try to look for it. It's really hard to find, but when I can find the low fat, I go with the low fat, but I couldn't find it, so I'm gonna use this. And taco size flour tortillas. Now this brand calls it snack size, but it is taco size. You can go with a bigger burrito size if you want to, but it's gonna, of course, obviously gonna cut down on the amount of quesadillas that you're gonna be able to make. A little butter, not too much, just a tad, and some vegetable oil. So let's get started because I am starving. Okay, let's get started. Go ahead and heat up your pan. I usually heat it up on medium. And then I add a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil. Just like that. Then I take my corn, it's 1 cup of corn. And I go ahead and dump the corn in. I want to kind of brown it just a little bit. To me, it brings out the flavor of the corn just a little bit more. Go ahead and saute that. Put it a little bit higher. Put it on high just to get this thing going. Takes a little bit for it to get brown, but it's so worth it. Okay, now I'll go ahead and lower it down to medium. Oops, splashed all over. Then I like to add my onion. And my garlic. About a teaspoon of garlic. And I cook it just till the onions are translucent. You kind of want the garlic to be cooked, because even though you're cooking it in the quesadilla, if you don't cook it well enough, you might bite into a raw piece of garlic, which isn't very good, especially if you have to go back to work after lunch. But from here, I go ahead and add my cilantro. Now this is gonna smell so good. Now I add in the whole can of drain and rinse black beans. Make sure it's rinsed. Saute that together. I just kind of saute it just for a minute or two. What I do now is I go ahead and turn off the stove. I take my taco seasoning and I pour probably about half of the bag. You can use the whole bag or 3/4 or whatever you want, but I prefer just to use half, sometimes 3/4, but this time I'm only going to go half. To me it has so much flavor already. Add more. Okay, now what I like to do right now at this point, I put it to the side and I let it cool down for about 20 minutes. Okay, the next thing I like to do is to take this out of the pan and put it into a bowl. Just because I'm going to use this same pan to heat up the quesadillas. I try to use as least amount of pans as I possibly can. Okay, once this has cooled down a bit, I'll go ahead and add in the 2 cups of cheese. I'm only going to be using 3/4 of a cup on this batch just because it's not the low fat cheese. I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to use 3/4 of it. Go ahead and put the whole bag if you want. More cheese the better. Go ahead and mix it around. So it should look like that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is assemble it and fry it up in the pan with just a little bit of butter. Okay, go ahead and heat up your pan to medium. And just take a tad of butter. Maybe about that much butter. Not too much. You just defeat the purposes of it being healthy. Then I go ahead and take 1 tortilla and I lay it here like that. Then I add some of the filling to half of the tortilla. Just Just like so. If some falls out, just go ahead and scoot it back in. Then I go ahead and take this and go ahead and flip it over like that. And I go ahead and push this to the side here. Then I take another tortilla. And by the way, I have my heat down to about a medium low. You want it to cook too quickly. You want the inside to, the cheese to melt. Go ahead and do the same thing. Some filling. In half. This and press it down. Some stragglers here. Go ahead and push that on the side. Oh, you can turn it up a little bit. I think I can go ahead and make one more. I can do 3 in here. Then I carefully flip it over. Try to do it this way. To the side. Carefully flip it over. Okay, now what I like to do is take a cookie sheet and line it with wax paper or parchment paper, whichever one you have. And then I like to go ahead and once they're golden brown and you can see that the cheese is already melty inside, I like to lay it on here, like so. They look, and then I'll go ahead and do another batch of it. Also, you know, using butter is optional. You don't need to use butter in order to cook this. I prefer the taste of it with the butter on there. I know it cuts down as far as the healthiness, but overall it's still pretty healthy. It's better than going to McDonald's and getting a burger. This one's mine. I'm gonna be eating this one. Turn that off. So once I have it all on the tray like this, look how beautiful that looks. I like to stick this in the freezer for about 10 minutes just so that the filling has a chance to kind of bind together. So after about 10 minutes, I take it out of the freezer and I go ahead and I bag them up in freezer bags. I do one per bag. Oh, I'm short a bag. It's okay, I'm gonna go ahead and double this one up. Maybe this will be my Friday treat. I'll have 2 instead of 1. Now once these are all bagged, I go ahead and just put them in the freezer, and when I'm ready to eat it, what I do is before I leave for work, I take it out of the freezer and I stick it in the ice box so that it's not frozen when I get home during my lunch. Then I heat up a pan and I don't put any oil or any additional butter. I just put it in the pan on pretty much, I would say low heat, and heat it up on both sides. And it takes a little bit to heat up the inside because it's still cold. But what I do is I heat up one side, the other side for maybe about, I would say maybe 2 minutes on each side. So just to make sure that it's a low now, because you don't want to burn it. Then I go ahead and cut it in half. And then I go ahead and put it back in the pan. And then I cook it for a few more minutes, maybe another 2 to 3 minutes. And then usually the middle is nice and the cheese is melty again. And then I go ahead and eat it. Or you can, if you don't have enough time, you can go ahead and heat it in the microwave. It's just not as good in the microwave. Heating it back up on the stove has that nice crunchy outside. So this is what my Hearty Black Bean Quesadilla looks like. Oh, nice and gooey. It's beautiful. So that's it, guys. That's how to make my Hearty Black Bean Quesadilla. I like to pair it up with some salsa and some sour cream. Go ahead and dig in. It's so good. Go ahead and try and make this. It's super easy. It's fast. It's economical, and it's healthy for you. Let me know below in the comments if you tried making this quesadilla and what did you think about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, bye!